What's cracking, everybody? Rudy here, and I'm coming at you with an Azur Lane guide. This time we are going to be talking about the construction, the gacha system of Azur Lane. I never really talked about it in detail, so I thought I'd take the opportunity right now. There was a maintenance going on, and I want to play the game, but I can't. It's maintenance. But here we are. I'm going to make this video talking about the construction tools. This is mostly for beginners, of course. I'm pretty sure veterans are very used to the construction and the gacha system. Let me break it down for you here. So, usually, I can't show you this on the game right now because, again, maintenance. But here on the wiki, this is, if you were to open up the gacha, the gacha tab, you'll have usually just 3 options for light, heavy, special, construction. These are different pools that you could possibly pull from in the gacha. So the light construction only has light aircraft carriers, destroyers, cruisers, and repair ships. And then heavy only has light and heavy cruisers, the battleships, and that's it. And then the special has both aircraft carrier types, both cruiser types, and repair and submarines. And another thing that's kind of noted about the construction pools that's always available is the cost. So you'll see in light construction, it costs 600 coins and 1 wisdom cube to pull from that pool. This is why everybody would recommend that you only pull 1 light construction a day when there is not an event. And that is because you are rewarded with 1 cube for pulling at least once a day in the gacha. Now you can pull from the heavy and special from for the challenge a day, but again, that's going to cost you 2 cubes, and we're trying to build up the cubes for when there's a limited banner. Okay, we want to have as many cubes as we can to be prepared, especially since the UI events are coming up pretty soon. Okay, and another thing to note about the heavy and special is not only do they cost an extra cube, 2 cubes, they also cost more than twice the amount of coins. It costs 1,500 coins for a single pull from that category. And sometimes with limited events, okay, I should say this about the limited pulls, is that the limited pool that you'll see in event is going to be based on one of the 3 pools we have here. So if there is a limited banner for an event, let's say for example, upon the shimmering bull, I have this pulled up here. As you can see, we have a destroyer, a light cruiser, 2 destroyers, another cruiser, and an aircraft carrier. These are all ships in the light construction pool. And because of that, that banner only cost the same amount as a light construction pool. So yeah, that's kind of how you get the idea of like where you're pulling from. I don't know if the game tells you that or we just kind of have to figure that out on our own. Just kind of like learning like what the classes are, so we get the sense of like, okay, it's gonna be from this pool. But yeah, that's one way to know like where you're pulling from and how much it's gonna cost and why it costs that much. Okay, so sometimes the limited banners can cost 2 cubes and 1,500 coins. So that's why we want to save up. It is a nice break when the banners are the 1 cube and 600 coins, but you know, sometimes it's not. Okay, so with that out of the way, I thought I'd highlight a few of the ships I know about to be pretty useful. So yeah, if in case you're a new player, you kind of had limited dock space at the moment, you're not too sure who to keep, this sort of is here to like give you some advice. And coming from the light pool, this is the pool that you'll be pulling from every single day. There's a lot of really decent ships here, in my opinion, but a few that are especially good. Starting off with a bang is No Shiro. She's one of the best tanks in the game, I'd say. Also just a beautiful ship. I love her design so much. She is just a big personal favorite of mine. I love the girls with the horns. But yeah, she has really neat survivability skills, like increases ship's evasion rate by 5%, decrease torpedo damage the Vanguard takes by 5%. The torpedo damage, not as great as the evasion, but you know, that sort of gives you a sense that like, okay, yeah, she's a tank. She's going to be evading a lot of damage. Okay, so let me just close this so that way I don't lose track of like where I've been. Okay, so San Diego, she's not as strong as she used to be. Well, not that she was nerfed or anything, but just that, you know, there were some more powerful light cruisers that have come out since. But again, this is for new players who might not have had access to a lot of the previous events. So yeah, because of that, if you do not have access to some of the other light cruisers from limited events, C is still worth picking up and holding on to and developing into a retrofit. C is, I believe, like an off tank or center in the Vanguard. But yeah, she's pretty dang decent. Good damage that C delivers. And then we have Daido Yu. C is good solo. She's a solo Vanguard for the Royal Navy. And yeah, C pretty decent, I would say. Of course, the kind of fleet you build has to kind of revolve around her a little bit. So that is something to keep in mind. But C is also kind of worth holding on to. Hermione, also a decent tank. Right? No, it was the opposite of that. That's right. Yeah, so she cannot be the frontmost Vanguard position. She gets a decent buff, and also buffs the Royal Navy. Okay. So she's like probably like a center or off tank, but I'm looking at more of a center. Is probably the best position for her. Okay, but yeah, she does decent damage, so she's pretty decent to hold on to. Swiftsir is good as an off tank. She has good anti-air, so you know, for grinding chapter 12, she's very good. And yeah, she's a pretty strong light cruiser. Moving right along, Belfast is, I believe, a tank. Because she has the smoke screen, right? Yeah, the pulls of smoke screen decreases invasion rate. But I would advise, if you're playing with Belfast, to play manually instead of on auto. Because I think she needs to be in that cloud, if I'm correct. If I remember correctly, she needs to be in the cloud that she produces to have that evasion buff, right? Or is it just if all your ships are inside it? Okay, yeah. Does that stack with other smoke screens? Okay, yeah. So they kind of have to be in it to get the most out of it. So that's why I would recommend playing manually with her. But because of that, she is a decent tank. Okay. Now, hold up. Before I talk about Nuremberg, one that is also definitely worth picking up. You don't have to get her through Gacha. She's available, I think, through the metal shop. I'll wait, we could check down here. Ooh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, Gacha. Gacha. No. Thank you, Wiki. Yeah, so you can get it from the metal store or the guild store. The guild tokens. But what makes her so good is that she's destroyer. She's going to Vanguard. But the best thing about her is that she boosts the experience of destroyers that destroyers will gain after a battle. And the fact that she is a Royal Navy ship means she is really good at helping you get to complete the combat data collection for some of the Royal Navy ships in the PR system. If you're unfamiliar with that just yet, so the PR are these huge projects of ships that you have to complete a certain amount of tasks before you can unlock them permanently. And yeah, so Amazon is really good at helping you complete the combat data collection for a certain number of ships that you'll see on screen. Okay, now Nuremberg, I just like her. I just think she's super cute and I want to show her off. Look at her. Look at her little boy-ass face, and she has these scary horns. I love her. She's so adorable. Okay, anyways, yeah, that is the light construction pool what I would recommend. Anybody else have recommendations for the light construction pool? Put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Or even if I might have like said something incorrectly, correct me please. Even throughout the whole video. Do so respectfully. I do take into account, like, please respectfully correct me. But I do love corrections, and I do love people giving information and the reasoning why they like certain ships. And I think giving the reasoning why they like a certain ship that I haven't mentioned also helps players identify on how to use them. So keep that in mind as well, please. Okay, so that's the light construction. We're gonna move right along to the heavy construction here. Of course, same thing with the heavy construction and the special construction. Ujersey and Shinano are available from both of those pools. And it kind of goes without saying that the two of them, you're gonna want to hold on to them. And yeah, they're just a really good battleship, really good aircraft carrier. So yeah, very, very good for new players. That would definitely help them out during the late game content. Okay, so now I'm going to go into, again, the ships I highlight from this construction pool. Okay, so first we got Hal, very good mainline battleship, deals decent damage. I mean, she has been outshined by some other powerful battleships, but just the fact that there are others that are stronger than her does not take away from the fact that she herself is pretty formidable. And yeah, so very good there. Also particularly really good with King George class ships, but she really shines when you get to make use of the skill Covenant of the Immortal Kings of Knights, excuse me. So yeah, how very good. Hood, also a decent ship to hold on to. She does good damage on her own, doesn't need any particularly specific composition. Just slap her in and then she'll deal some damage. Richelieu is also a decent damage dealer in her own right. But she does have buffs to Iris Libre and Vita Dominion ships. So, you know, soldering her with other ships of that faction will help you clear out the more difficult stages for sure. But in herself, she is pretty strong. Royspite is also a strong ship, comes with a retrofit. Yeah, she was like for a while just like the lone damage queen. Like no one could top her for a bit. Of course, that has changed, but she is still a strong ship to hold on to. Key, also a strong ship. I really like her. Also good buff for Sakurai Empire ships in dealing with the anti-air, the aviation of later chapters. So definitely want to hold on to her. Also, she just looks really cool. Look how sick this portrait is with the, I don't know what that is, blood dripping from her heel. It's sick. Okay. Queen Elizabeth. I think she is pretty decent. She isn't going to put out crazy numbers of damage on her own, but she is mostly here because she increases the firepower, torpedo, aviation, anti-air, reload, and evasion of all your Royal Navy ships. So she really shines in buffing up your Royal Navy fleets. To get the most out of her, you really got to make all Royal Navy, which isn't a bad thing because there are a lot of really good ships in the Royal Navy faction. So that is why Queen Elizabeth shines there. Nelson, good damage dealer and herself, one of the big 7. Recently came out with a retrofit last year, which makes her even stronger and boosts her damage even more with her upgraded skills. So yeah, hold on to Nelson. Alguire, also very good. Also just very cool looking. Again, I love these like fire effects surrounding her. But yeah, I think she would kind of shine mostly as an off tank. I mean, she comes with a defensive skill, but this shield is pretty specific in what it defends you against. So it's not as generally effective as some of the other like just straight up evasion tanks. So you may want to build around her defensive skill mostly. Other than that, she has other skills that have her deal decent damage, so keep that in mind when applying her to your fleet. Prince Eugen, decent tank. She has unbreakable shield, block shells. What else does this do? Yeah, if this ship is the frontmost position of the Vanguard, deploys the same shield every time the shield is deployed. Result of this increases firepower. So yeah, decent tank, has some defense, but she isn't the best tank around. But again, this is for I remind myself, this is for players who may not have had access to previous limited banners. So if you come across her in your polls, definitely hold on to her. London also is a decent heavy cruiser. Retrofits, you definitely have to retrofit her to get the most out of her and use her for like the later stages of the game. She is definitely good, I think, as a center ship in the Vanguard. Yeah, so she's definitely just here to deal damage and here to support the other damage dealers more so than just dealing damage herself. Baltimore. Also kind of the similar thing as London. She's kind of meant to deal damage, good amount of damage herself, and then support the damage of her Eagle Union sisters. So yeah, definitely hold on to Baltimore. Now, these next 2 ships, Portland and Indianapolis, these two kind of go hand in hand because Portland has a skill, Best Sister, when sorted with Indianapolis, increases this ship's firepower, anti-air, and reload. So that just having Indianapolis, her sister, her dearest sister, with her, it will increase her stats. And Indianapolis herself, she's okay. She isn't really the strongest tank, even though she does have defensive skills. But you know, again, if this is all you have, definitely use her and develop her. These will carry you at least to the end game. I don't think they will be very strong for the very later chapters, and probably not so much Operation Siren for sure. But also these two are not just available in the gacha. As you can see, there are drops in certain chapters: 3.3, 4.4, 8.2, 11.4, and 12.4. But of course, by the time you reach 11 and 12, you probably are reaching the value of these ships. But yeah, and then you can also get them in Medal of Honor store. Oh, and a login reward for the second day. I didn't know that. Oh, you just get Indianapolis? That's pretty cool. How nice of them. But yeah, Portland as well, you know, sees a drop in chapter 3 and 4. Get it from the Medal of Honor and Guild. And also just for clearing 2-1. Wow, look at that. You're guaranteed to get her. I didn't even know that. It's been so long since I played the beginning of the game that I forgot that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely hold on to her. She'll carry you to the end game. So now we're here at the special pool. Again, just like the heavy pool, New Jersey Shinano. Definitely gotta grab those two. Now moving right along, we have Perseus, probably the best healer in the game. I think she is. I don't know if that's like a debated topic, but I think she's the best healer in the game because he heals the main fleet, she heals the vanguard, right? She heals the main fleet, right? Ships in the vanguard and the main fleet 1%, yeah, the respective HP. And the main fleet, even though the health boost to the main fleet is like less than the vanguard's the one taking most of the damage most of the time. She's not doing the craziest amount of damage as far as aircraft carriers, but she is doing the most healing. So yeah, definitely hold on to Perseus if you can pull her. Unicorn is also in this pool. Let's see if they also just give you Unicorn. No? Okay, but you can get her with guild tokens and in the Medal of Honor. Of course, in these chapters as well. Okay, let me actually read it. Chapter 4:4 and 5:4, 10:1 and 12:1. Now, she is also a very good healer. Comes with a retrofit that increases her healing capabilities even more. And decent damage as well. And also just look how cute and beautiful the portrait is for a retrofit. Isn't that precious? Also look how cool that unicorn is. The eye is sick. I love the designs in this game. Yeah, unicorn, good healer. Hold on to her. Ryuho. She is a really meh healer, I think. The first 3 airstrikes launched by this ship will heal 3 times over 3 seconds. Each heal targeting the allied surface ship with the lowest percentage of remaining HP. Each heal restores equal to 1% of Ryu's maximum HP. If the fleet this ship enters battles with 3 ships afloat the main fleet, the healing of the skill is doubled. Okay, you know, it's a little bit better than I remember. But she's definitely not as strong as like Perseus when it comes to healing. But you know, if you grab her, definitely hold on to her if you don't have any other healers. Enterprise, the flagship of the game. She is pretty dang strong. Lucky E, when this ship launches an airstrike 40% to 70% when you fully upgrade it. Chance of the airstrike to deal double damage. And for this ship to evade all enemy attacks for 8 seconds. So yeah, she just doubles her damage and hits even harder and then just becomes like untouchable. She activates her Ulster Instinct for 8 seconds. For the next 8 seconds, Enterprise is effectively invincible. But yeah, definitely hold on to her if you grab her. Formidable. I love Formidable. She's a personal favorite ship of mine. I just think she's beautiful. I have her figure. Bless. And also she's good for boss fleets. She has debuffs. Don't move an inch, launching an airstrike, 80% chance to reduce the speed of all enemies for 5 seconds or 0.5 seconds. And yeah, the ship always activates the first airstrike of each battle. Also decreases damage taken to self by 8% for launching airstrike. And then she just increases her own aviation, and she also has her own ship, which increases the damage she does even more. Yeah, pretty decent. I mean, I think there was some people who may argue that she is no longer necessary, but maybe that's the case for like chapter 14, 15, but so far I've had pretty good success with her. Saratoga is also a very strong damage dealing aircraft carrier. The retrofit makes it much stronger. Yeah, when just step long, it's damage every vanguard. Yeah, she boosts the vanguard as well. I'm like refreshing myself on like what these ships do by locking in. Yeah, definitely hold on to Saratoga when you grab her. Just a good damage dealer. Akashi, she is like a repair ship class. Again, her heals are not as strong as someone like Perseus or Unicorn, but decent enough that if you grab her, you should hold on to her. I believe you could also, yeah, if you do Akashi's quest line, which I should just do a video covering that on its own, you will just get her. And yeah, so she's definitely a ship to hold on to. Finally, I gotta talk about Kashino. Kashino, she is only notable the fact that she comes with the most broken skins in the game. If you have these skins, you will be locked in, so to speak. You know what I mean. Just look at them. Okay. But with that out of the way, that is Rudy's recommendations of ships you could get from the general construction pools. And again, though, I would really only recommend pulling once a day in the light construction pool when there was not a limited banner going on. When there was a limited banner going on, I would advise to keep it, to spread out your pulls throughout the duration of the event, however long it is. Usually there is an event mission to pull 3 times a day. So you want to do that throughout the duration of the event. And if at the last day of the event, you still need a few ships to clear the banner, definitely start to go in on your pulls so you can ensure that you get the limited ships, because reruns are pretty hard to come by. Not that they never happened, it's just that they may take like a year to year and a half before you see the rerun. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be my explanation of the gacha system and my recommendations. Oh, how did I forget Kazugumo? Kazugumo is very strong. Yeah, he does good torpedo damage. Look at all these buffs. She's good. Can't believe I forgot about her. Yeah, she's really good in boss. Definitely hold on to Kazugumo. Oopsie. Okay, yeah, that is gonna be my recommendations. Also, John the Arc is pretty decent. I'm so good at YouTube. John the Arc is pretty good if you don't have anything else. But yes, he's pretty decent. Okay, that's gonna be it for my explanation of the gacha and recommendations of who to hold on to out of each construction pool. Again, corrections, leave them in the comments, but do so respectfully, please. And explanations to your decisions are very much welcomed and encouraged. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This has been really fruity. And subscribe if you're new here. Love to see you in the next video. Take care.